here tonight. He's just been called up, and he still wears his spring training number 68. Very excited 24-year-old making his big league start here tonight at third base. Joe Girardi's Yankees are going through a bit of a tough stretch. They've lost 8 games this month, and they haven't been able to come up with the timely hits. Jeter is back in the lineup. Derek Jeter, the captain, is hitting leadoff. Curtis Granderson, Robinson Cano. In his last 17 games, he has been a red-hot hitter. 364 average, 6 doubles, 2 home runs, and 11 RBIs. Mark Teixeira, Ibanez. Nick Swisher is the DH tonight. Eric Chavez gives Alex Rodriguez the night off at third base. Andrew Jones makes a start in right, and Russell Martin is behind the plate.
And that will be the lineup. Drew Hutchison as he takes the mound for his 6th start. He earned his 2nd victory in his last outing. That was on Saturday versus the Minnesota Twins. He went 6 strong innings, beating the Twins 2-1. Struggled with his fastball command at times, but really relied on his changeup in that ball game. For his career, this is the first time that he gets a chance to look at the New York Yankees. And if you know Drew Hutchison, he's not going to be intimidated. He's going to go about his business, throw a lot of strikes, and command that strike zone.
He throws a lot of fastballs, and he is able to spot it on both sides of the plate. Derek Jeter did not play in last night's game. And he gets the same reception on the road wherever he goes. And as Reggie Jackson once said, they don't boo nobodies.
And this guy is a somebody.
Derek Jeter back at shortstop tonight. And Drew Hutchison. We mentioned the veteran Yankee lineup. They like to have information on the pitcher they're facing. They don't have much on Hutchison. Bunted right back to Hutchison. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Let's take a look at the scouting report for young Drew Hutchison. Brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. The fastball 77% of the time. Like you said, Buck, he likes to move it in and out, up and down, and he's got very good command with it. His slider is getting a little bit better, and his changeup really relied on that in his last start. But with that fastball, he can sink it, he can cut it, he can make it move. It's going to be a big pitch for him.
Now, one thing he does is get ahead. He has the ability to pitch out in front, and that's always an advantage for a pitcher. Curtis Granderson led off for the Yankees last night. He drops to the 2 spot. They must have got a report that Hutchison can't field.
I think they're trying to pick on the youngster at third base, making his first start at third. Derek Jeter just didn't get the head of the bat out far enough to pull it down to third, and now Curtis Granderson faked like he was going to try and drag a bunt.
Now, Joe Girardi told us before the game last night, if we don't hit home runs, we don't win. It's a little bit surprising. They might be trying to take advantage of Gomes at third base, making his first big league start, and Hutchison making his first start against the Yankees.
Well, if you're going to find out if they can do it, you may as well pick on it. See if they can do it early in the ball game.
Been a tough stretch for Curtis Granderson, although 4 of those hits have been home runs. And he'll take the 1-out walk. Yan Gomes came to spring training virtually unknown. Nobody knew an awful lot about him, but at AAA Las Vegas, he was behind the plate for 12 games, played third for 10 games, first for 9, and he was the DH. But he has versatility. He's very athletic.
Yeah, I think they can play him in the outfield for an inning here or an inning there if they get into a pitch. And it's always nice to have that third catcher, and you can do different things within the context of the ball game. Right now, what opens their eyes is his stick, and that's what got him here, along with that versatility.
Right now, he's thinking, please, somebody hit me a ground ball real soon. There's a strike to Robinson Cano. Cano collected a double last night. It was his 300th career double. His average just over 300 for the season. Cano went 1 for 3 in last night's game. He also walked.
You mentioned that he's been hot over his last 17, even hotter over his last 10. Over 400. He has brought his average from 255 to 302 in just 10 games.
This is drilled to left center. Rajay Davis is going to go all the way to the wall. Granderson is being waved around third. Cano drives in the first run of the ball game with an RBI double.
He's their best hitter. on the New York Yankees, and they've got a lot of them, but I think he's their best. He is settled in, hitting third now for the Yankees. That is a pitch about belt high in the middle of the plate, and good hitters like Cano just don't miss it. Hits it hard to left center field to drive in his 15th run of the season.
Mark Teixeira in the cleanup spot tonight with Rodriguez on the bench. Teixeira off to a typical start. .234 average. He is traditionally a slow starter.
He's been battling a cold. He's had it for about a couple of weeks. And you're right, April and May have never been kind to Mark Teixeira. But once the weather starts warming up, that bat starts warming up.
Currently he has a 6-game hit streak. 8 for 23. This Yankee team is all about consistency, but boy, they have had a tough time this month hitting with runners in scoring position. They've lost 8 games in May. In those 8 losses, they've gone 3 for 52 with runners in scoring position.
And you mentioned when they don't hit home runs, they don't win ball games. They are 0-8 when they don't hit a home run. So they have to hit with runners in scoring position. And it's not like they can't do it. I mean, they've got guys up and down their lineup who have done it for their whole career.
Teixeira cuts and misses on a fastball. It's 2-2. Yankees were held to 1 run on 3 hits last night. Kyle Drabek really set the tone. 7 innings of 3-hit ball. He walked 4 but struck out 5. Hutchison picks up his first strikeout of the night.
And it's in a good spot. It's a fastball. He comes right after Teixeira, and it's away. Ball tailing just a little bit away from the left-handed hitting Mark Teixeira. I think that's what Hutchison's going to have to do. He's got to forget about who he's pitching against and just pitch his ball game. Make pitches. We saw that last night from Kyle Drabek. When he made pitches, he got good hitters out.
Fastball missed the outside corner. Raul Ibanez, the left fielder. Ibanez had a single in 3 at-bats. He was also hit by a pitch in last night's game. There's a strike. Kyle Drabek, we mentioned a great start last night. 7 innings of 3-hit ball. Gave up 1 earned run, and after the game, Mark Teixeira said that sinker was really working. You don't want to say Halladay because Halladay's a special pitcher, but it felt like Halladay was out on the mound last night.
Stayed strong through those 7 innings when he was out there. His fastball had plenty of movement on it late in the game.
Now, the Blue Jays are very pleased with the way Drabek has come along, Alvarez has come along, the way Hutchison has responded to his first chance at pitching in the big leagues. 1-2 to Raul Ibanez. Bouncing ball. Johnson waits on it. Ibanez is retired. The Yankees score 1 but leave 1. 1-0 New York. Lynn has been sent to the minor league, so you can see some changes. Top of the order is the same. Johnson, Escobar, Bautista, Encarnacion. Then J.P.R. Sebia bats fifth. Then Francisco's the DH. Colby Rasmussen center. Jan Gomes batting eighth and playing third base. And Rajay Davis, who's been a red-hot hitter, gets a chance to play tonight in left field.
Against Phil Hughes, who won consecutive starts for the first time this season. Last time out, Hughes beat the Mariners. Pitching into the eighth inning for the first time this season, Hughes has allowed at least a home run in all 7 of his starts this year. The only other Yankee pitcher to do that was Tim Leary back in 1990.
Kelly Johnson hit his 8th home run of the season. It came in the 7th inning, and it was a big home run, his 100th career home run. That was the 4th Blue Jay home run of the night, the 3rd time they've hit 4 homers in a game. Came last night in an 8-1 win over the Yankees.
So a pitcher who has given up 9 home runs this year in 7 starts versus a team that looks like they're starting to get their home run swing together.
Sounds like a good formula. Phil Hughes. That was the first pitch down the stairs to Kelly Johnson. 7-game hit streak alive for Johnson. He's reached in 14 of 15 games played this month. It's been a nice surprise in the leadoff spot. John Farrell experimented with Johnson hitting first in spring training, and he really performed well.
Played about 5 games there in spring training and did his job. Had a very good on-base percentage. Just kind of tinkered a little bit with moving Escobar down, and I think it's helped, see a few more pitches in the number 2 spot.
There's a strike, 3-1. Yeah, I think it's helped them both. Kelly Johnson has the ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark and get on base at the same time. Escobar doesn't have to think like a leadoff hitter anymore.
No, he can be a little bit more aggressive. Kelly Johnson's got a very good on-base percentage, and so does Yunel, and I think that works hand in hand for what the Blue Jays are trying to do at the top of their lineup.
The only thing that bothers Kelly Johnson about his season at the plate has been the number of strikeouts he has. Johnson has struck out 43 times. He said that bothers him. He said, I shouldn't strike out that much. And he'll take a walk, and he'll reach base again.
As Kelly Johnson makes his way to first base, let's take a look at the scouting report for Phil Hughes. He has to throw his fastball because his velocity is back. Came into spring training in great shape, and voila, the fastball is back up to 93, 94 miles an hour. Remember last year they were talking about he had lost it. He was reaching max velocity at 89. Curveball is a very good one, and I think he's transitioned from the 8th inning guy we saw from him a couple years ago to a bona fide big league starter by using all of those pitches.
Hughes is just 25 years old, and he has started. He's been in the bullpen. He pitched very well out of the bullpen. Freed up, he knew he was only going to have short stints, so he could reach back for a little extra, and had a fastball in the mid-90s.
Yeah, he had a great fastball. It's basically a fastball breaking ball when he came out of the bullpen. And then go to the starting lineup. Then last year, the fastball just wasn't there. And he didn't have the command, and he had a really tough year. But he got into tremendous shape, went out to California, to one of those places where you work out, and got himself into shape, lifted weights, did a lot of running, lost some weight, came to spring training, and he was a new guy.
2 balls, no strikes to Yunel Escobar. Base hit through the right side. Johnson is thinking about third and recognized his former teammate Andrew Jones is in right, so he stops. 2 on, nobody out. Jose Bautista hit a rocket home run in the 5th inning last night, his 8th of the season.
Yeah, this one, no doubt. They tried to go inside with a fastball, but that's the Jose Bautista that we've seen the last couple of years. Quick to the inside pitch, and he stayed on that hitting plane and went through the baseball. Didn't hook it, went through it, and landed in the second deck.
In a heartbeat. 9 homers on the season. Nobody out. Phil Hughes is in a jam. Doesn't have his fastball command, and he is throwing to a notorious fastball hitter. Well, this is really a tough spot for Hughes, and Bautista is, well, he's in the driver's seat right now.
Yeah, he can pick a pitch and he can pick a location here if he wants to. And thinking about putting 3 runs on the board.
Well, Hughes caught the outside corner. It's 2-1.
He's got a good fastball. That one was 94 miles an hour. And in a good spot. Jose was looking for something on the inner half.
Three and 1. Right now, Bautista just needs to load up and think about how far he can hit it.
He did it last night. We were talking about that, about the shift that the Yankees were putting on. You're either going to have to hit it through it or over it. He chose to hit it over the shift and out of the ballpark.
Low strike. It's 3-2. One thing the Blue Jays are going to have to do as a team is not react to these borderline calls. And I think Bautista does a pretty good job there, even though he thought it was low. That side angle shows it was high enough.
Certainly high enough. Fans then start to react to that.
Full count. Cut on and miss. Bautista strikes out. First out of the inning.
Phil Hughes again, he's got enough fastball, and he goes upstairs this time to get Jose Bautista. Swings through that pitch. Pulls off of it just a little bit, just enough to miss the ball.
So Edwin Encarnacion with his 13th home run last night. Fastball on the outside corner. Since the 27th of April, Josh Hamilton is at 10 home runs. That leads the majors, and right behind him is Edwin Encarnacion. He's got 9 over that stretch.
Boy, 2 perfect pitches right there from Hughes. Don't get discouraged. Those are just unhittable right there.
That's what's really tough in an inning like this. Hughes is all over the place. He's already walked a batter. He's fallen behind, and then he paints the outside corner twice.
You find yourself at a hole 0-2, and you've got to battle. But Encarnacion has done a good job of that this year, staying on pitches.
Another fastball. Encarnacion strikes out. 95 with the heater. Back-to-back strikeouts for Hughes.
You see what he did there? He went to the outside corner, then he went a little bit further, and then he went just a little bit further still for strikeout number 3. This one off the plate. But as a hitter, you're in a defensive mode with 2 strikes. So you have to offer at it.
So J.P. Arancibia will try to pick up Bautista and Encarnacion. JP had 3 hits last night. Drives this ball high, but foul down the right side. J.P. Arancibia put the Blue Jays on the board with a 2-run home run in the second.
3-2 breaking ball that really got his bat sped up, and he hit it over a 375 sign for his 4th home run.
Pops this one up. Teixeira backpedaling. Calls for it. And makes the catch in foul ground. The Blue Jays with a golden opportunity. But Phil Hughes strikes out 2 and strands a pair. Sao Paulo, Brazil. And if you want to find out more about Yan Gomes, log on to sportsnet.ca. Our baseball insider Shai Davidi has a great piece. Shai was in Las Vegas last week and had a chance to catch up with Yan Gomes and a lot of those AAA ball players, and he wrote a nice story to give you some background on the newest Blue Jay third baseman. Yan Gomes and J.P. Arencibia played at the University of Tennessee together, and now they're on the same big league field. So Nick Swisher, the DH. Swisher hit second in the lineup last night. He drops down into the 6th spot tonight.
One of the things that I was impressed with Kyle Drabek last night, he got Nick Swisher 2, maybe 3 times in 2-0 counts and threw him sinkers. And he just pulled it. They were strikes, and then they weren't strikes. And he pulled him to the second baseman.
Drabek's stuff was explosive last night. He kept it down around the knees. The Yankees were flat out overmatched. And the kind of reaction we heard last night was the same reaction we heard in spring training when Drabek pitched so well against them in a spring training game. And the Yankees were very complimentary about the stuff that Drabek featured that night, and also the same Mark Teixeira said it after the game last night. 1-2. Hit high and deep to left. Rajay Davis on the track at the wall is there and makes the catch.
This is what we were talking about last night. If you didn't get a chance to watch the game, watch how the ball explodes. And what J.P. Arencibia started doing, just setting up in the middle of the plate and letting the ball go to the corner. He was saying that pitch that we saw right there had A-Rod talking to himself after that at bat. Kyle Drabek said, Mark Teixeira on Kyle Drabek, I felt like Halladay.
Felt like it was Halladay out there, the way that Drabek kept the ball down. He just couldn't get the ball up in the zone at all. Certainly reminiscent of the way that Roy Halladay threw when he pitched down in his zone.
You know, proving that when you make pitches, it doesn't matter who's hitting. You've got to execute your stuff on the mound.
Well, isn't that a great point? And it takes young pitchers a while to understand that. 0-2 to Eric Chavez. Right back up the middle, but there's Escobar. Once again, the Blue Jays use that shift very effectively. That saved a base hit without question.
They are starting to keep numbers and stats on who shifts, how many times, how many runs that saves them. And the Blue Jays are right up there. They are second to the Tampa Bay Rays in the American League in overshifting, and they are second to the Tampa Bay Rays in runs saved because of that. Right there. 10 years ago, that's a single to center field.
Oh, yeah. If the pitcher doesn't catch it, nobody else has a shot at it. 2 outs. Andrew Jones getting a start tonight. Ball on a strike. 1-0 Yankees. There's a great pitch. Down and away.
Stay on that corner.
We have seen Drew Hutchison all the way back in spring training. You recognize his ability to work the corners. Popped up over near the Yankee dugout. Arencibia is over, leans in, and just runs out of room. In this ballpark, you're always aware you got a chance to make a catch. You got to go after it because the next one could be out of the ballpark. This is a very hitter-friendly ballpark.
And he's not going to get any help from the Yankees on that bench. If that was over by the Blue Jays bench, they'd be pointing to the ball. They'd be helping him. They wouldn't let him fall into the dugout. You see them all scatter.
Yeah. Breaking ball, pulled foul. Yeah, if you were going over near the Blue Jay dugout, your own dugout, you'd hear guys going, "You're all right, you're all right, you got plenty of room, stay with it."
I'll catch you. Dive in here.
Yeah, whatever it takes. Yankees.
They were scattering.
Yeah, they didn't say a word. That slider missed. That's one thing, too, we've seen with Hutchison. His slider is starting to get more depth. By that, we mean it breaks away and down.
Get off that hitting plane. You don't want to keep throwing the same pitch on the same type of eye plane.
Ball is hit hard to left field. Davis is back on the track, makes the catch. Andrew Jones hit it hard, but the Yankees go down in order. Young Gomes will bat third when we come back. His first big league at bat. He's reported to Dunedin. He will play in an extended spring training game tomorrow. He has come to camp in great shape, and that might force the Blue Jays to change their plans a bit.
He had initially planned that he would take live or regular batting practice to the end of the week, but as good as he feels, he'll be in games tomorrow. He'll play the outfield 4 to 5 innings, more to get his body in baseball shape, not to say that or suggest that we would put him in the outfield here. We view him as a middle-of-the-order bat and in the DH role. So he'll start getting live ABs tomorrow, and then after probably 3 to 5 days of live ABs in extended spring training games, we'll reassess to where he goes in his next step.
That's pretty interesting. Vladimir Guerrero now becomes an important cog in the Blue Jays' plans. Ben Francisco is the DH tonight. Adam Lind has been sent to AAA. And Vladimir Guerrero might play more prominently into the Blue Jays' plans quicker than we imagined.
Yeah, there was talk that it was going to be 3 weeks, maybe a month. And a lot of times the guys were saying we're not sure. It depends on what he looks like when he gets into spring training, how he feels.
And Francisco pops it down the right field line. Andrew Jones in foul ground. That's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Guerrero's 37 years old, so you just never know with him. But from all the reports that we're hearing, that he came to camp in great shape, and if he's here in a week to 10 days, you know, then you're going to see some changes and maybe a big bat that can help this offense in the middle.
Guerrero is a .318 career hitter with 449 home runs. Last year he had 13 home runs, batted .290, and drove in 63 runs for the Orioles. 2 years ago, he was an all-star for the Texas Rangers.
.290 last year wasn't too bad.
He hit 300 in 2010 with 29 homers and 115 RBI. He knows how to drive in a run. Bobby Rasmus pops it over, foul into the seats.
When he was younger, that was the guy that you never wanted to see come up with a runner in scoring position at 2 outs, because he would figure out a way. Him, players like Derek Jeter, Joey Votto,
Manny Ramirez. Those guys that just knew how to drive in runs.
Yeah.
Phil Hughes got out of a tough jam in the first inning. He walked Kelly Johnson, gave up a single to Escobar, and then struck out Bautista in Encarnacion. And then got J.P. Arencibia to pop up to end the inning.
Did it exclusively with fastballs. Went right after Jose Bautista, went right after Encarnacion and J. Pierre Seaver.
Full count. Colby Rasmus. Foul back. Yan Gomes is on deck. Youngster just called up from AAA Las Vegas. I think his heart's pounding a little bit right now.
Boy. See if his shirt's moving where it says Blue Jays.
Rasmus will take the walk. Gomes will come to the plate.
Third baseman, number 68, Yan Gomes.
The first Brazilian-born Major League Baseball player. Born in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Moved to Miami when he was 12 years old. And he can swing the bat.
Evidence right there. He was coming out of his shoes on his first pitch. John Farrell last year, Yan Gomes got on his radar. About the second half of last year, he says, here's a guy who DHing and backing up in Double-A at catcher, but every time he'd look at the reports, he'd see he'd get 2 hits, he'd hit a home run. Really developed last year.
0-2.
And everything that he has accomplished on the baseball field, he has earned. There are his numbers over the last few years. So you reward players like that come to the organization and make themselves players.
Breaking ball down and away. He was a 10th round pick in 2009. And this is what really caught the attention of the coaching staff. His spring training numbers. He hit .333. Had a homer, 9 RBIs.
23 total bases in the 20 games that he played in. You might get 1 at bat in spring training if you're not starting in that game. He started a few games towards the end of spring training. 7 doubles, a home run, and 9 RBIs in his 20 games.
And he hit the ball hard. Looks very good behind the plate. Swings at a high fastball and strikes out. That's the 3rd strikeout of the night for Phil Hughes.
He's using his fastball also. He's using it on the outside corner, and he's got the ability to go upstairs with it. She does right here. Number 3 on the night.
Hughes beat Kansas City, went 6 2/3, gave up 3 earned runs. Then he beat Seattle Mariners, as Pat mentioned, went 7 2/3 in that game. Rajai Davis gets the start tonight. Nothing physically wrong with Eric Thames. Thames has been playing against right-handed pitching, but tonight John Farrell wanted to get Rajai Davis an opportunity.
He just makes things happen when he's in the ball game. He really does. He can score runs just on the ability of his legs. You can see he's hot over his last 9 games, 450.
He's a game changer. He makes the other teams nervous, and that's what Farrell loves about the offense. Is he likes to characterize it as an uncomfortable offense.
You know, and another thing to think about, Drew Hutchison looks like he's developing into a fly ball pitcher. So you want to have a little bit more speed in the outfield, especially in left field. And that's where Rajai's speed comes into play.
He's already made 2 running catches tonight. Phil Hughes has just powered his way through this order first time through. The fastball has gotten him out of some tough spots.
Established that fastball. Surprised a little bit that Colby Rasmus has stayed over there at first base. Thought he might, with a couple of outs, try and steal second.
Especially in this situation with Rajai Davis hitting ninth. Rasmus steals it, then he's in scoring position, obviously, and if he's thrown out, you got Davis to lead off.
And you still have some speed with Davis, that if he gets thrown out, leading off the next inning. You got to get a good jump. Hughes looks like he's pretty quick to the plate.
There goes Rasmus. He got a big jump. He got such a big jump, he wasn't sure he should go.
He might have been to second base by the time that ball got to the plate. He was trying to time Phil Hughes, 1001, 1002. If Hughes looks up and sees him, he would have been able to pick him off. But the pitch was close enough that Rajai Davis had to swing at it, keep his at bat alive.
Another 2-2 pitch to Davis. Colby Rasmus at first. He walked. There he goes. Hit on the ground. Jeter will have to go to first. Offline, and Rajai Davis is safe. Well, there's another aspect of Rajai Davis that puts pressure on the defense. He can run.
And by starting that runner, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, can't just flip the ball to Cano at second base. He's got to throw the ball across the infield. Just the third error of the season for Derek Jeter, who makes all the routine plays. But not this one. It sails on him just a little bit, and with that speed of Davis hustling all the way out of the box, not taking anything for granted, he makes the play a little bit tougher, and he's safe at first.
You never know what might happen, so when you make contact, bust it up that line. Kelly Johnson. First pitch breaking ball.
This is the best fielding team in the American League, the New York Yankees. And they've booted the ball already. There's Gold Glove everywhere. They had an error in last night's game and one here tonight.
Kelly Johnson hits it into left field. Raul Ibanez comes in, and the Blue Jays will leave a couple of base runners.
On Sportsnet, brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware and building center location. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Beautiful spring evening in Toronto. Roof is open tonight. It actually started with the roof open last night, but the temperature got down to 14, and they decided to close the dome. A little bit nicer here tonight. Russell Martin, batting in the ninth spot, goes after a first pitch and shatters his bat. Good catch by a fan. Leaning over the rail.
He's letting everybody know, isn't he?
And never even hesitated.
Hutchison gets all in the kitchen of Russell Martin. So it's a nice soft play, and there you go. You're on TV.
Russell Martin batting 172 for the season in his second year with the Yankees. Two for his last 25. And we'll check swing back toward the Yankee dugout.
He's got some power if you make a mistake. 3 home runs among his 16 hits this year.
Hutchison just missed that outside corner. Drew Hutchison walked Curtis Granderson with 1 out in the first, and he came around to score on the double by Cano. Missed all the way across the plate. He wanted that one inside and pulled it all the way off the outside corner.
He stands on the third base side of the pitching rubber and throws a little bit across his body. His front side really doesn't clear, so that is a tough pitch for him to throw.
Bouncing ball. Escobar near the bag at second. Martin's retired. 1 out.
This is what the opponents have been doing against Drew Hutchison. Now the fastball, again, he uses it 77% of the time, and they're hitting 320 against him. Slider, he throws it 7%, just 200. Slider is developing. The change, they hit 200 against 7% of the time. The slider is a pitch that's developing for him, and I think at times he's going to have to use his fastball and then get a little bit more sink and run to it. You can see how he stands on that third base side and throws a little bit across his body. Maybe in time he might move a little bit more towards the first base side to help him get that outside corner a little bit easier.
Right now he's done a pretty good job of getting his command. In Kansas City we saw him make his major league debut, and he was a little bit of a shotgun pitcher at that time. He was kind of all over the place, but as he's started a few more games, his command has gotten pretty keen.
He's got a beautiful windup, I think. It's very smooth. He stays together over the mound. He's got a nice loose arm. And I think as he gets older, fills out just a little bit more, gets a little bit bigger, he'll be throwing 95, and he'll learn to sink the ball and cut it and possibly throw a curveball. Pitch that he has not been taught yet in professional baseball.
What a pitch. Derek Jeter is called out by Dale Scott, and Jeter's pleading that that's not a strike, and Scott called the previous pitch in the same spot a strike.
Paintage, that's what you call it right here. High enough and right on the corner. Derek Jeter's going to have his say to try and get that the next time. He's got plenty of the plate. I think what he is arguing about, that it might have been low. You can see right there where it crossed the plate. It looked like it was high enough.
Two down. Curtis Granderson, we mentioned, he walked and scored in the first. Then Hutchison can work the corners.
That's his strength. The ability to move the ball around the plate, in and out.
Bouncing ball, that's a fair ball, and it'll go down the left field line. Granderson turning for second. And he was late on the fastball and was able to keep it fair inside the bag at third. And Granderson gets the 2-out double, his 5th double of the season.
Surprised by the speed. Look at that. Just takes it right out of J. Parancibia's glove and just shoots it down the left field line. The Blue Jays are going to play Curtis Granderson to pull. Hitting charts say that he likes to get the head out and he yanks those pitches. That time, good piece of hitting by just serving it down the left field line.
Robinson Cano doubled in his first at bat. See how Cano reacted to that pitch? That reminds me of Albert Pujols' comments in Anaheim when he said, "I can't see the pitch from Hutchison." Cano acted in the same fashion, like he didn't see the ball coming out of the release point.
And that's another thing about pitching, your deception, your ability to hide the ball, keep the ball behind your leg, deceive the hitter a little bit, and all of a sudden the ball's on top of you. With a short, quick, fluid arm swing by Hutchison.
And again, Cano bounces back from that inside fastball.
Again, it's 91 miles an hour, so it's a little bit above average major league fastball, but your ability to pick it up out of the hand is just not happening against Drew Hutchison. And that's a good thing. That's what you want. Watch when he brings the ball back. It really doesn't get past his leg and his lower half. Keeps it back there, hides it.
Just downstairs. 2 balls and a strike. You saw Cano's numbers struggling with runners in scoring position. The Yankees tonight are 0 for 2 so far. And we mentioned in their 8 losses this month, coming into this game, they were 3 for 52. So there's not a whole lot of clutch hitting going on for the Yankees right now. Good changeup. Tell you what, you don't see Robbie Cano take too many funky swings.
Well, I think that's the information that you were talking about in the first inning, that the Yankees like to have a lot of information on the pitcher that they're going against. And they just have never seen Hutchison, so they're trying to build a book on him.
Kevin Long sitting next to the manager, Joe Girardi. Long's the hitting coach, and you can bet he's trying to gather information quickly.
Yep. Write some notes down. He's a hot hitter, too. We mentioned that the last time he was up there over 400 in his last 10. So you got to pitch him tough.
And you know what? You have been at the plate when a guy can pitch you inside. That's the most uncomfortable thing a pitcher can do. He's not throwing at him, but it's an uncomfortable inside pitch that Hutchison is throwing right now to Cano.
If he had one of those comeback two-seamers to lefties right here, and that's another pitch that I believe will come as he gets a little bit older, that would be the pitch to throw right here.
And Cano will take the 2-out walk.
You know, when you pitch a guy in like that and he's backing off the plate and you're moving his feet like that, you got that comebacker that Greg Maddux made so famous, that two-seamer that comes back. You freeze the hitter. That would have been it right there.
Yeah, and that's what you've always talked about, making X's on both sides of the plate. Get one ball on the inside corner to come in and the other one to go away, and you throw them both on the inside corner. Mark Teixeira struck out his first time up. First and second, 2 outs. Into right. Should be an easy play for Bautista. Teixeira's retired. The Yankees strand the pair. Yunel Escobar will lead things off. He's single in his first at bat. Then Bautista Encarnacion, the heart of the order. who might show up at the ballpark. The Fan 590 radio host, Sid Sixero from Jim and Sid in the afternoon, and Jim Lang from Brady and Lang in the morning. A couple of radio hosts on the Fan 590 Sportsnet Radio in attendance here tonight, and they've got seats in the front row.
How'd they get those seats?
I've never been down there. You been down there?
No.
I'm saving for the radio guys.
Right behind the Blue Jay on deck circle.
They do a good job on talk radio in the morning, Sports Radio 590. There's a high curveball called for a strike. Phil Hughes hasn't used many pitches other than the fastball. That's been his bread and butter so far tonight.
I think he's had to establish his fastball. Put fastball in the mind of the Blue Jays. And you can drop that curveball on him.
Second time through the order, hitters generally pick up on the velocity, have a better sense of timing when they face a pitcher for the second time on a given night. And that's the case with the Blue Jays here facing Hughes. Escobar singled through the right side of the infield his first time up. He got the night off last night. John Farrow wants to keep everybody as fresh as possible. Alex Rodriguez with the night off tonight at third base. Derek Jeter had last night off. Yankees are in the midst of a 16-game stretch. So the Yankees are a little bit older. Joe Girardi wants to make sure his players don't get tired out. Escobar has his second hit, got a hanging slider and jumped all over it. Jose Bautista had a big home run last night. He also walked in the ball game, and things are starting to turn around for Jose.
The on-base plus slugging numbers are starting to creep up for Jose Bautista over his last 6 games played. 1.186, more like the Bautista we saw in 2010 and 2011. And all that is just getting on base and producing.
Hughes uses that curveball. Both Hughes and Martin are aware they've got to show the Blue Jays something different in this second trip through the order.
So they've led off Escobar, now Bautista with her first pitch curveball. There's another one. Now he fell behind Bautista's first at bat and then challenged him with fastballs. He eventually struck him out on a 3-2 fastball. Here's the curveball again that flipped out of his hand. Just doesn't get out in front and extend through it.
You got to think fastball here. And he missed. You give him the green light,
and you know it. He is the go-ahead run. And this is where Jose's got to just say, I'm going to look for the baseball. I'm not going to worry about where it is. I'm going to look for it and swing hard.
There's a strike. 3-1. Bautista has always been a predominantly pull hitter. 22 of his 27 hits to the pull side of the field. There's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner. He's made a couple of good pitches. Fell behind 3-0, and now he's back in it.
Yep. He was behind Jose again, 3-1. His first time up, eventually came back to strike him out, and he got him with a high fastball that time.
It's not a blazing fastball, 92 miles an hour. But Hughes is throwing curveballs and sliders in this at bat.
He's got a little bit of deception to him also, Phil Hughes. He short arms it a little bit. That ball probably seems like it's a little bit faster than 92 getting on top of you.
There goes Escobar, and Bautista got the head out on that one. And hit it into the 5th deck.
Now, did you think any of those fans thought that they would get a foul ball when they bought a ticket? And they found out where they were sitting tonight?
Now,
look at this.
They're closer to the restaurant at the CN Tower than they are to home plate.
And they got a souvenir.
Escobar was running on the pitch. Nobody out. Blue Jays had first and second and nobody out in the first inning and chose not to move the runners. There he goes again. High and deep to left field. Ibanez looking up at the wall. Home run, Jose Bautista.
Here he comes. 2 nights in a row that Jose has homered. This one is up, and watch the extension. I love watching Jose Bautista's hips rotate into that baseball. That's where he generates all his power.
Yeah, he doesn't need to think about right field.
No.
He needs to think about the seats. That's his 5th home run in his last 7 games. And that's the Jose Bautista of the last 2 years. He now has 123 home runs. That breaks the tie. He had a tie with Jose Cruz Jr. for 9th on the club home run list. Encarnacion lifts it into center field. Granderson moves underneath it.
You know, the thing about Bautista is he's got great bat speed, and he gets it from his hips. Watch that belt buckle open up and face the pitcher, and then almost a shortstop. That's where you get that centrifugal force so the bat can come through there, and that's where the power comes from and the bat speed comes from for Bautista.
Dwayne Murphy's been trying to get Jose to understand he is a violent pull hitter. Load up early and let her buck. Kevin Long, the Yankee hitting coach, did a video study of Jose Bautista after his 54 homers 2 seasons ago. He said, I want to find out why Jose Bautista has so much power. And he looked at every one of his 54 home runs from the 2010 season and discovered that he has more hip rotation than anybody in the American League. He said the only guy that's close is Curtis Granderson in center. The Yankees, Curtis Granderson and Bautista both generate a lot of power, not being big physical guys, because they generate so much bat speed.
Bat speed is what hits home runs.
Aaron Sebia pops it up to Share in foul ground. That's their second out of the inning.
And the thing about Bautista and Granderson is how the bats and hands work together with the hips. The swing will bring you forward, but you have to explode and turn as you are starting to swing, and the timing is so minute. It's got to be perfect for where the bat hits the ball by using the leg.
But if you get 500 at bats, 4 pitches each at bat, 2,000 pitches, you only got to hit 50 of them.
only 50?
And Francisco hits it high and deep into center field. Ibanez is there and makes the catch in the alley. But a leadoff single and a big home run off the bat of Jose Bautista. A 2-run shot. Jays have taken the lead. Italian yacht.
But Charles Sprewell's got a guy.
Pick up this week's Sportsnet magazine on the newsstands now and read about some of the crazy spending of your favorite athletes. How to blow $110 million. Jose Bautista is earning his money. That's for sure. That's his 10th home run of the season. Moving up on the leaderboard.
That's money well spent. You're not losing anything there. So I need, what was it, $1.5 million?
$1.5 million yacht. That's kind of like a rowboat in this day and age, though.
I didn't make that big money.
Raul Ibanez, the left fielder, grounded to second. That ended the first inning. Drew Hutchison has been given the lead. 2-1 ball game. Bautista now with 10 home runs. Hamilton leads the American League in home runs with 18. Curtis Granderson and Edwin Encarnacion are tied with 13. Adam Jones and Adam Dunn are tied with 12. Popped out of play.
Blue Jays are going to play the shift a little bit differently now that Brett Lawrie is going to be gone for 4 days. At the shortstop position, that's Yan Gomes. Remember, Brett Lawrie was the player that would go out into short right field. And they like to keep Escobar and Kelly Johnson, the shortstop and second base, in their normal positions. Now, with him out of there, they're going to just shift over like a lot of other teams do.
This is popped up here, and Sebia will give it a look, but again, behind the screen.
Just push everybody to the right. Everybody take a couple of steps to your left, so you've got 3 infielders on the right side of the infield.
Well, Brett Lawrie is such a great athlete. He can go out there and range far and wide, and he's got the arm strength to throw from shallow right field. Yan Gomes is playing in his first big league game, so you want to keep him as comfortable as possible. 2-2.
There's going to be a time, if there's a runner on first base and they want to shift with a left-hander, then you're going to see Yan Gomes go out in the short right field. They don't want to have him messing with the double play around second base in case there's a ground ball to one of the infielders, him trying to turn it.
Another walk. That's the leadoff walk here in the fourth.
Save during the homeowner sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Walks are dangerous against the Yankees. Curtis Granderson drew a 1-out walk and scored the Yankee run in the first.
They make you pay. You just have that ability to sense that you're struggling a little bit.
One thing we have seen from Drew Hutchison, he's not afraid to throw a strike. After the walk, he comes right back and throws a first pitch strike to Nick Swisher. Ball and a strike. In last night's game, Blue Jays scored 2 runs in the second inning on J.P. Arancivia's 2-run home run. Then Kyle Drabek went 1-2-3 down in order, 3 ground ball outs in the third. And then the Blue Jays answered back with 3 more runs in the bottom of the third.
I think that's so important that when your team takes the lead for you, you've got the momentum. You can't give it right back to them. You got to go right after, pound the strike zone, and make them hit their way off. Ideally, you'd like to do what Drabek did. Boom, 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 get your team right back in your dugout, get them hitting again, get the team that just made the outs, get them out there. That momentum stays with you.
Put Phil Hughes right back on the mound.
Yeah. Don't get a chance to catch his breath.
And Arancibia is going to go talk to Drew Hutchison.
You know, at some point, I think Drew Hutchison, J.P. and Seaver, they're going to have to realize that they're going to have to pitch inside a little bit more too. With these left-handers keeping the ball away. They're going to have to push them off the plate and then open up that outside part of the plate against these left-handers. At some point, you can't keep doing the same thing, throwing the ball away to them. They'll make adjustments.
Fouled it back. It's a full count. We saw that with the Texas Rangers when Hutchison pitched against them here on May 1st. Hutchison struck out the first 4 batters of the ball game, and he stayed away, and the Ranger hitters hit him to right. He gave up 5 runs in the 2nd inning after striking out the first 4 batters of the game.
Yeah, he looked unhittable, but the Rangers were gauging him and getting a sense of what he likes to do. Made adjustments, and then Drew did the same thing. He made adjustments to them. Started throwing more fastballs inside.
Hutchison checks in on Ibanez at first. Raul Ibanez took the leadoff walk. There goes Ibanez. Pitches outside. Back-to-back walks here in the 4th. Last time out, Drew Hutchison pitched against the Twins on Saturday. He had a 1-2-3 first inning and then had 2 strikeouts to end the 2nd inning. Got Ryan Doman and Trevor Plouffe. And then had another strikeout of Josh Willingham in the 4th inning. And he went 6 strong innings, held the Twins to just 3 hits. But I am not the first to notice this is not the Minnesota Twins.
4 walks in that game also, which is a career high for him. He's got 4 walks already here in 3+ innings.
Yeah, and the one thing you worry about with the Yankees is somebody can run into one. Right now, Hutchison and Aaron Seavey both have to make an adjustment. He's missing off the plate, so what you have to do, either as a catcher, just move over to the middle of the plate a little bit more, or start working to the inside a bit.
Get your hand on top of the ball just a little bit more, and that'll help that from running off the plate.
Throws a changeup that evens the count, and a ball and a strike.
We just saw those highlights from Minnesota. All those pitches were sliders that he got those strikeouts with. He's going to have to start using that also.
Bouncing ball. Kelly Johnson will swipe at the runner. He's out. Back to first. Double play. Bill Miller, the second base umpire, indicating that Nick Swisher went out of the base path, avoiding the tag by Kelly Johnson. He was called out.
What a play by Johnson. You know why? Because he went right to the baseline and he forced that runner to go around him or stop. That's what you're supposed to do. Stop getting a run down or slide right into that guy. That baseline is yours. But Kelly Johnson, very smart, gets right into that baseline, catches the ball, tags Swisher, and then completes the double play.
Now Drew Hutchison has to finish the job. Andrew Jones. There's a strike on the corner. Ibanez moved to third base on the double play. Jones lined to left his first time up.
You know, if you lay back on that ball, you don't make the double play. Smartly got right in that baseline, caught the ball. He knew that Nick Swisher was going to be right there for him to tag.
Just a bit up. Got Jones to go after that fastball.
Yeah, he likes hitting here too. He had a home run cut right there on that 1-1 pitch. He's played 19 games in this ballpark and has 6 home runs. Andrew Jones. Fly ball type of swing.
1-2, 2 outs. Coming in, got it. They saved that inside corner for the put-away pitch. Andrew Jones strikes out. Double play helps. It's presented by Boston Pizza. The Blue Jays will welcome in the New York Mets. The game begins at 1:07 p.m. Special kids price tickets in the 200 and 500 level outfield seats. After each Saturday home game, kids 14 and under can run the bases just like the pros. Call the Blue Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. Junior Jays Saturday, 1:07 start. Bottom third of the order, Rasmus, Gomes, and Rajay Davis. Bill Hughes drops that get-me-over curveball in for a strike. Hopped into right. Andrew Jones comes in a few steps. 1 out. Yan Gomes struck out in his first big league at bat. You got to imagine now that the butterflies have kind of shrunk down to the moth size.
As long as they're what, flying in formation?
Yeah.
It's okay to have butterflies. It's always exciting to have your first big league game. Everything looks bigger and brighter.
He's not timid about swinging the bat, that's for sure. We saw that all spring long. If you're just joining us, Yan Gomes is the first Brazilian-born Major League Baseball player. He was born in Sao Paulo, Brazil. He was a 10th round draft pick of the Blue Jays in 2009.
Not afraid to work either.
Spring training, he would grab on to Brian Butterfield and say, hey, you know, if I'm going to play a little third base, a little first base, let's take some extra ground balls.
How about the Arizona Fall League also? Not afraid to work.
0-2. Arizona Fall League was an interesting situation. The great scout Mel Didier was out there to watch Gomes and Hechavarria and Kevin Aarons, and he called up Arizona State and said, I need your field at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And he took those 3 players over there and had Luis Rivera hit ground balls to Yan Gomes. He was a catcher at the time. He hit ground balls at first. Well, Gomes has his first big league hit. How about that? That'll be a souvenir. Derek Jeter will take care of that. And he says, I know exactly what that's all about. Congratulations, Yan Gomes.
There's nothing like it, and that was solid. Now they're going to play the game on Gomes also. That they're going to act like they're going to throw his base hit into the stands. He struck him out with a high fastball his first time up, but not this time. That is a solid single to center field. Good for you. That's awesome.
Rajai Davis takes the strike. Yan Gomes got a couple of big firsts out of the way. Rajai Davis, that's driven toward the gap. Andrew Jones will cut it off. It's off his glove. Now they're going to stop Gomes at third. Ryan Butterfield had initially waved him around third, but Jones recovered quickly and got the ball back to the infield. A double for Davis.
Good piece of hit by Rajai Davis. He's changed his swing just a little bit. He's going to hold on to two hands on that bat and drive that ball. You see Brian Butterfield sending Gomes and then holding up. Good play by Jones in right field. Ball bounces off his glove, but he quickly recovers and gets it into the infield. And the thoughts of scoring, kicks that bag, and he's going to hold up right there. Rajai Davis, whenever he plays, good things have been happening.
He's a spark, that's for sure. Back to the top of the order. Kelly Johnson. You know, Johnson's got Hughes sized up now. He's walked and he's flied out. Johnson homered in last night's game. He also singled. He drove in a pair of runs and scored a run.
He's thinking about keeping the ball either to the outfield.
This is popped out. Eric Chavez over near the seats leans in, but it's out of his reach.
Or you're going to try and keep the ball in the middle of the infield to score this run. They're playing the corners in and the middle back on the infield of the Yankees. Hughes can elevate his fastball, which he likes to do to try and get a pop-up. If you're going to swing at it, you got to make sure you get on top of it and drive that ball to the outfield.
Oh, 0-2. One out. Down in the dirt. Now this is the one area where we had talked about it earlier. Kelly Johnson has been clutch. 345 average. A couple of homers and 14 RBIs. But he has been critical of himself for the strikeouts, and that's the last thing you want in this situation.
Yeah, you want to be able to advance those runners, even with an out.
And that won't do it. Broke his bat. 2 outs. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Boston's starting to gather some steam. Matt Moore has not pitched as well as they had hoped. Tonight, 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs. He struck out 7. But he's up against Felix Dubron, who's held the Rays to just 2 hits in 3 innings. He has 5 strikeouts already. Yunel Escobar. Yunel's 2 for 2 so far. Yunel had a 4-hit game against Minnesota last Thursday. Right now with Davis at second. Chances are a base hit would score 2.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot when you've got that type of speed at second base to get him in. Escobar, runners in scoring position, 2 outs, 364. He stays with a very simple approach. Just try and hit it back through the middle.
Little flare. Cano makes a running catch. Robbie Cano got a good break on it. Blue Jays strand a pair. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Enjoying those big comfort green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone is Canadian music artist and Juno Award winner Divine Brown. The TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. Divine Brown did a great job singing both national anthems here tonight before the start of the game, and really did a terrific job on both of them. Congratulations and a job well done, and enjoy those great seats. Number 9 hitter Russell Martin. Top of the 5th. Blue Jays lead it 2-1. First pitch strike. The Yankees this season are 1-13 when scoring 3 runs or less. And that's what they did last night. They got 1 run on 3 hits. Encarnacion will go to the bag. Martin's retired.
Well, you turn that around. The other side of the coin is when they score 4+ runs, they've got a great record, 19-4. So Drew Hutchison right now has got to keep them off the board.
Derek Jeter is 0 for 2 so far. He was called out on a fastball down and away. Breaking ball lined in to right. Bautista got a break. What a play. Oh my, what a play. Once he recognized he wasn't going to catch it, all he thought about doing was smothering it, and that ball bounced right in his glove, and he kept Jeter at first base.
Outfielders make mistake, it's extra bases. Jose Bautista comes hard trying to get that ball for his starting pitcher. You're right. That in between hop, just knock it down. Just try and do something to keep it in front of you and keep Derek Jeter over at first base. And Jose Bautista catches it on a hop and keeps the double play in order.
1 out, Curtis Granderson takes a pitch upstairs. With that base hit, Derek Jeter now has 3,145 hits. He's 16th on the all-time hit list. He is 7 behind Paul Wainer, who is 15, and 9 behind George Brett. Broken bat. Kelly Johnson can't make a play. Ball skipped under his glove. Looked like the ball stayed down. Johnson looked like he was going to have a shot to start the double play.
Well, first of all, they have to respect the pull ability of Curtis Granderson. So Kelly Johnson is pulled way over. Gets the jump on it. And it looked like that ball went between his glove and his body. Looked like he had an excellent chance of getting to it. Just cannot come up with it. And there was a base hit.
Back-to-back one-out hits. Robinson Cano. RBI double in the first. He walked into third. Jeter at second, Granderson at first. Hutchison is pounding him inside. The last at bat, he stayed inside, and then Cano took ball 4 on an inside pitch.
At times they have had success going inside to Robbie Cano so he doesn't extend. He likes the ball away, and he can handle the ball away. He can shoot it up the gap like he did his first time up on a double, or can yank a ball to right field.
Right on the inside corner. You can pitch inside, and it won't have an impact until you throw strikes inside. Once you throw strikes inside, then hitters have to honor that inner half. And that's what Hutchison has done with Cano.
Most batters like the ball middle away, where they can do stuff with it. You know, the ball on the inner half, that's a pitch that you just react to. And you just use your hands and just try and turn on it. A lot of guys like the ball away where they can go the other way.
Changeup lined to Bautista. He is there. So Cano hit it hard, but right at the right fielder.
Save during the homeowner sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Mark Teixeira bats with 2 outs. Up and away.
Got him last time with a changeup that Teixeira was a little bit out in front on. Looks like he's going back there.
Foul back. The Yankees have a run on 4 hits.
Just a year ago, think about this, where Drew Hutchison was. He was in low A ball in the Midwest League pitching for Lansing a year ago at this time. And here he is pitching against the New York Yankees.
Good pitch, high fastball. When you think about it, 2 of the 5 starters in the Blue Jays rotation both started in A-ball last year. Henderson Alvarez and Drew Hutchison. And the reason they're pitching in the big leagues, they have good stuff, obviously. But neither one of them gets wrapped. They handle the situations very well. And the thought was they could handle the possibility of failure and not let it affect them.
And
Hutchison wanted that pitch.
And there was need there also from the Blue Jays. Goes away again. And Teixeira's always had a great eye. Just lets that one pass, and it's just off the plate.
That's the toughest call for the umpire, wearing that inside protector, where he's set up on the inside corner. He has to call that pitch all the way across the plate. Popped in the air behind third. Yan Gomes backing up in fair territory, makes the catch. The Yankees again are stymied with runners in scoring position. They're 0 for 7 tonight. The third inning, Bautista delivers a 2-run homer.
How about that for extension and through it? He got it all. He knew it. Inner half, he pulls his hands through. He goes through the baseball for home run number 10.
He's hit 5 home runs in his last 7 games. On the off day, we're going to take him back to Minneapolis just so he can walk around the ballpark.
Get that feeling, right? Keep that feeling.
Ball in the strike. A little bit up.
High fastball again from Hughes, and Jose offered at it and came up short. You know, players know, and they can sense, and coaches can sense when players are ready to bust out, and a lot of them, to a man, feel that Bautista is ready, I mean, to really go off. The way he's taking pitches, the way he's seeing pitches, how he's starting to swing the bat, his timing is getting a little bit better. Laying that chin right on that shoulder. Good pitch.
3-2 curveball. Bill Hughes not wanting to give in to Bautista, and he drops the hook in there. One down. Edwin Encarnacion is hitting cleanup tonight. Adam Lynn, in case you have just joined us, has been sent to AAA. Sean Farrell, Alex Anthopoulos met with Lynn after the game last night and told him they felt like it would be best for him to go down and see if he can't recapture his stroke in AAA. And the Blue Jays are playing shorthanded tonight because Brett Lawrie has dropped his appeal of the suspension. And he will miss this game in the Mets series and then be active to play against Tampa Bay down at Tropicana Field on Monday.
You know, and sending a veteran down is really nothing new. I mean, it's been done a lot in baseball. And Blue Jays have some recent history with the man at the plate and being sent down.
A couple years ago, Edwin Encarnacion was sent down to AAA. His stroke wasn't there, and he went down with a terrific attitude. He became the hardest worker in AAA and worked his way right back to the big leagues. I believe just about 10 days.
10 days. I think that's all it took, and the numbers he put up in 10 days were gigantic.
So it's all about how you handle a demotion and whether you make up your mind to go down there and work and put the time in and take advantage of the less intense atmosphere.
You know, people aren't out to try and get you. They want what's best for the team, and they want what's best for you. Edwin went down there and said, you know what, I've got to get some work in. He went down there, he saw some pitches, he got his confidence back, he started hitting home runs, and he hasn't seen the minor leagues since.
Here's the 2-2. He lays off that high fastball. Interesting that Edwin Encarnacion and Robinson Cano share the same hitting coach down in the Dominican. This is popped a mile high, foul territory. Teixeira gets there and makes the catch. Encarnacion went over to Robinson Cano's baseball academy in the Dominican Republic, and Cano has worked with a hitting coach named Luis Mercedes, former big league player, and obviously he's helped Cano immensely and did the same for Encarnacion this offseason. He's the one that suggested Edwin put both hands on the bat
and keep it there through his swing. Somebody needs to hire him and put him in the minor leagues and help him to teach young guys how to hit.
J.P. Arancibia in the 5th spot tonight. JP's popped up to Mark Teixeira twice. Changeup there, and Arancibia was out in front. An oddity in the game for Phil Hughes tonight is the fact he hasn't recorded a ground ball out. Strikeouts or balls in the air because he pitched upstairs.
Yeah, he uses his fastball. And he likes to throw his high fastball. It's back too. At 93, 94 miles an hour. He was setting up Mariano Rivera just a couple of years ago.
There's another strikeout. A high fastball. He's had that good fastball all night long, but he trails the Blue Jays 2-1 after 5. Summer, they're presented by Baseball Canada and Little League Canada. Next one will take place Halifax, Nova Scotia. The date August 5th, 6th, and 7th at Mainland's Common Field. The instructors include Jose Cruz Jr., Jason Dixon, Sandy Alomar Sr., Jesse Barfield, and Dwayne Ward. Visit BlueJays.com/Baseball Academy. The Toronto Blue Jays are proud supporters of amateur baseball across Canada. Open air baseball here at Rogers Center. This is a short 2-game series. The Blue Jays won the opener 8-1. They lead the Yankees 2-1 here as the Yanks are set to bat in the 6th. It'll be Ibanez, Swisher, and Chavez. And Ibanez, left-handed hitter, will look at that Blue Jays shift. Now here's the situation. If you're Joe Girardi and the Yankees, why wouldn't you ask Ibanez to bunt?
Sure. I think it's an easy base hit. You've got the whole left side of the infield for you. All you have to do is just get it down and get it past the pitcher. And you could walk to first.
Rajay Davis back to the warning track, has it measured and makes the catch. Drew Hutchison, first out of the 6th.
Or maybe you just have to do it on your own when you see it like that.
Yeah, I mean, in a situation like that, a 1-run game, he's the leadoff batter. They're giving you anything you put on the ground to third base. But I guess they feel that Ibanez in his 5 home runs has a better chance of tying it up with the swing of the bat. Nick Swisher tonight, the DH. Goes after the first pitch. We had mentioned in the open how the New York Yankees have got so many experienced players in their lineup. Sometimes they have trouble facing a pitcher they're not that familiar with.
Veteran hitters like knowledge. They want some information. What does his breaking ball look like? When will he throw his changeup? Mason Frazier now starting to get loose down in the bullpen for the Blue Jays. When does he like to use his fastball? You know, there's all kind of things that you can write down and measure about a guy. And veteran hitters, that's what they take to the plate, and they use that to their advantage.
Well, he's done a good job of that in the last couple of innings, pushing hitters back off the plate, especially the lefties. He's done a nice job with that inside pitch.
And then come back to that sinking fastball or using a changeup. And that's something that you have to do. You've got to be able to move that ball around, knock the guy off, throw a couple of pitches in there.
Bouncing ball up the first baseline. Hutchison will shovel to Encarnacion. 2 down. When you see Drew Hutchison and you realize he was a 15th round pick by the Blue Jays, you wonder, well, this kid's got talent. He's an athlete. Why did he drop to the 15th round? A lot of clubs didn't think he was going to sign. He's a very good student. He had signed a letter of intent at Stetson University in Florida and actually was moved in. He had lived at Stetson for a couple of days before that signing deadline. Blue Jays signing the last day possible.
And he did all the camps and everything like that that you do as a high school player that's going to be draftable.
He did an East-West All-Star game in Florida, but he wasn't a high-profile pitcher. And oftentimes during those showcases didn't pitch until the end of the games. So a lot of scouts, and this is common knowledge, a lot of scouts will come and watch the top guys and not hang around to watch the last couple of innings. Blue Jays hung around, paid off.
Did their job, did their homework, and kept their eye on him.
Hutchison also was a shortstop. In some games he would hit. So he didn't get to pitch as much as some of the other more high-profile prospects. And that's to the Blue Jays' good fortune.
I remember hearing about him last year. We kept talking about him when we were doing our farm reports. Each start he got better and better. He'd have more strikeouts, fewer walks. Just kept putting together good start after good start, and then started moving up the ladder.
Oh, pretty good pitch. Good turnout tonight. This is the series finale, short 2-game series. The Mets will be in town starting tomorrow night, a 3-game interleague series over the weekend. Line drive into right. Bautista trying to cut it off, but he won't be able to. Chavez is headed for second. Here's the throw. It's not in time. Eric Chavez has a 2-out double.
He was one of the best players before a lot of injuries have taken away some of his ability. Short swing and on a line to right center field, a couple of bounces. Bautista thought he had a shot at him at second base. Just a couple of outfield assists this year from Jose. The runners just aren't challenging him anymore.
Andrew Jones has lined out and struck out. They got Jones on a down and in fastball last time up. Struck him out. Goes after the first pitch. This should be playable. Encarnacion over near the wall, on the track, makes the catch. The Yankees continue to strand base runners. They are now 0 for 8 tonight with runners in scoring position. Quebec. The Edmonton Oil Kings versus the Shawinigan Cataracts starts things off. Catch all the action on Sportsnet. Junior hockey at its best. That's a beautiful trophy, and that's what everybody's playing for at the Memorial Cup. But it all begins right here on Sportsnet tomorrow night. Ben Francisco takes the first pitch strike from Phil Hughes. Line down the left field line. That's a fair ball. All the way to the wall. Francisco is headed for second. And he'll get there with a stand-up leadoff double.
That's how you hit an inside fastball. Watch how Francisco, very short, uses his hands to the baseball to keep the ball fair down the left field line and pull it into the corner. So a good start, a double. And now Colby Rasmus at the plate, and we've seen him in this situation put a bunt down.
Yeah, and the Yankees are aware of that. They're in at the corners. Chavez at third, Teixeira at first.
Very good at drag bunting, dropping one down to the third baseman.
Not showing bunt, taps it right back to the pitcher. Francisco has to hold his ground. That's a big out for the Yankees. Drew Hutchison threw 6 innings. And that's going to be it. John Farrell gives him the handshake, and Hutchinson is done for the night, and he leaves with a 2-1 lead. Yan Gomes got his first big league hit and has lost it back. Came in the 4th inning. Ball in the dirt. I asked Gomes how he found out he was being called up to the big leagues, and he said, I was at a theater watching a movie. It was an off day, about 8 o'clock at night. Marty Brown, the Las Vegas manager, had called him 2 times earlier, and he'd missed both calls. So he gets the call at 8 and says, you need to be on a plane at 11. And he caught a plane at 11 and flew overnight to get here.
Don't they make the announcement that you've got to turn your phone off at the movie theater?
That's probably why he missed the first 2 calls.
So he took the 11 o'clock flight, got here early in the morning. Got his first big league hit.
2 balls and a strike. Bounced in the dirt. Blue Jays have 6 hits tonight. Gomes and Davis, the 8-9 hitters, have 2 of those 6 hits. Jose Bautista, 2-run homer back in the 3rd. That's the difference in this ball game.
We saw him a few times in spring training really get the barrel of the bat out in front and yank a couple of balls to left field. 7 doubles in the spring.
Base hit to right field. And Francisco is being stopped at 3rd. Yan Gomes looks like he's been here for a while. Second hit off Phil Hughes. He is 2 for 3.
Just took that pitch away from him and just banged it into right field for a base hit. Watch how he extends plate coverage. Doesn't try and pull that ball. It's at the right field, right at Andrew Jones. So no chance for Ben Francisco to score from second base, and that's going to bring Joe Girardi to the mound.
So Girardi will take the ball from Phil Hughes. He will leave with 2 runners on his responsibility. Jays lead at 2-1. For your iPad, iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android device. Listen to live radio broadcast to receive batter-by-batter information for every game. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. Phil Hughes is done. He goes 5 1/3, gives up 7 hits. The 2 runners on base are his responsibility. And he'll turn things over to Corey Wade, making his 16th appearance of the season.
He's been good. They picked him up as a minor league free agent last year. That was in June, and he has been great out of the bullpen for Joe Girardi. You see his numbers, just 28 years old, 15 games. He's got a 159 earned run average in 17 innings pitched. He's striking out batters 10.6 per 9 innings, and he's just walking 1.1 per 9 innings. So he's got a good fastball, decent curveball, but an outstanding changeup that the Blue Jays are going to have to deal with.
Rajay Davis is screaming of a safety squeeze situation. Push bunt toward the second baseman. Get that insurance run in. And there it is. Bunted right back to the pitcher. Francisco comes home. And Corey Wade almost forgot about him. Only Teixeira's hollering at him. Reminded the pitcher, hey, there's a runner coming home.
You know, I was thinking the same thing about that safety squeeze. And ideally, you'd like to get it down and make the first baseman field it. Then Francisco, watch him at third base. He's coming, stops, and here he comes again. And by that time, it's too late.
Yeah, ideally, you don't want this runner to run. And Corey Wade forgot all about the runner at third. He was looking to go to first. And then Teixeira hollers home, and they're able to tag out Francisco.
Boy, he almost threw the ball to first base, if not for Teixeira.
That was a bad bunt right back to the pitcher. First and second, Kelly Johnson. Big curveball he looks at. 2-0. Blue Jays would love to add a run or two here in the sixth. Change up. 3-0.
He's not afraid to throw it. Any count, any time. It's a very good changeup. He throws it with good arm speed. Doubles it up with his fastball.
Now, if you're Kelly Johnson, you have to think that Wade's going to throw something off speed here, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's 3-1. He used off speed and fell behind 3-0.
There it is, 81 miles an hour with the changeup. And he might throw it again. Runners are going to be taken off now. 3-2, 2 outs.
Right-handed hitter on deck. Johnson's got a lot of power. 8 homers. Popped up. Looked like another off-speed pitch. Cano at second base. Makes the catch. The Blue Jays waste a great opportunity. Corey Wade comes in and strands a pair of base runners. Jason Frazier on to work the seventh. 5 hits, 1 earned run. He walked 4, but that didn't hurt him. He leaves with a 2-1 lead. Now look to the bullpen to protect that 1-run lead. And when you look back over his last 2 starts, 12 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned runs. He's walked 8, but he struck out 7. And his ERA is down to 4.81 now.
Looks a lot like Henderson Alvarez lines, where he walked too many, he hasn't struck out a lot, but he hasn't given up the earned runs. And they're similar type pitchers. They use their fastball and they try and sink it. I think those walks will come down for Drew Hutchison. His mechanics are too good to continually walk batters.
They're not wild walks. Yeah. They're just off the plate. Jason Frazier making his 17th appearance. He'll come on to try to keep the Yankees at bay. It'll be 9-1-2 for New York in the 7th. First pitch slider. Frazier doesn't use that slider very often, but that's a good time to use it on the first pitch.
Yeah, show it to them. Put it in their minds. Early in the count, he basically uses his fastball. Tries to keep it away from batters. There it is right there. That's what he likes to do. Try and paint that outside corner with that fastball.
Why is the outside corner so good for pitchers?
Well, it's so tough for the batters to reach it. It's the farthest pitch away from their bodies. They have to go out there and get it. There's just, excuse me, Buck, there's just a few guys in the big leagues who can take that outside pitch and hit a home run with it. So it's a tough pitch to do something with. So it's a good idea to stay away from them.
Especially in a 1-run game. Minimize your chances for making a mistake. There's that pitch down and away. Bautista almost in his tracks.
Save during the homeowner sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Back to the top of the order. Derek Jeter hit a line drive single into right his last time up. Pitch slider.
Well, he has had a great start to this season. Look at that average, 365, 5 home runs, 15 RBIs. He also has 17 multi-hit games already.
Leads the majors in hits, has 57 hits now. So if you just think they're using Jeter as a sentimental shortstop, no, you're wrong.
I saw a note the other day that since his 3,000th hit, remember the day he got his 3,000th hit against David Price, the home run? Since then, I think he's hitting something like 350.
Yeah,
something like that.
Once he got over that hurdle, kind of relaxed and took off again. Two and one to Derek Jeter. Got that fastball by him. He beat him with that inside fastball. He was late. How about that? A year ago today, he was hitting 110 points lower. Production was about the same, but boy, that hit total has jumped.
Yeah, everybody was saying, hey, he's getting too old. He can't do it anymore. He plays a primo position at shortstop. It's the best. He has been the best for a long time.
Bounce to short. Escobar, long throw and plenty of time. Blue Jays will take on the New York Mets tomorrow night. Ricky Romero will open things up against the Mets. It's on Sportsnet 1 tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the pregame show, 3:30 p.m. Pacific. And before the game today, Ricky Romero and CC Sabathia were talking shop. A couple of good left-handers, and I'm sure changing notes about pitching in the American League East. Romero will try to get things turned around. He's 4-1 on the season, but by his own admission, not pleased with his fastball command.
That's how you learn the game, by talking baseball, talking with the opposition. Hey, how did you pitch so-and-so from Tampa? Or how did you pitch so-and-so from the Boston Red Sox?
Exactly. Just pick out a hitter. Hey, how do you pitch to Matt Joyce? I have trouble with left-handers. What do you do against Matt Joyce and Carlos Pena? Those types of conversations are invaluable. Remember how Henderson Alvarez had a conversation with Felix Hernandez last year in Seattle. He certainly gave him some information to help him improve as a young pitcher.
How do you hold the ball on your slider? Or maybe I can improve my slider by using the type of grip that you have.
Alvarez has been a very pleasant surprise. When you think about it, with Hutchison 21, Alvarez just turned 22. If they can continue to develop at the same pace they've developed to this point, Blue Jays have got something. And then you throw in Kyle Grabeck, Ricky Romero, and Brandon Marlowe. That is a pop-up in front of the Yankees dugout there, and Cubierre drops the ball. He had plenty of room, had plenty of time, and it hit right in his glove. Boy, oh boy. When you get a chance to retire Curtis Granderson, you better take advantage of it.
Yeah, plenty of time, got rid of the mask. I'd like to see him squeeze this with two hands. And the ball goes up, and again, it comes back with the backspin. It's going to come back. So you always want to stay behind the baseball because it's going to come back to you. Reach up, use the other hand, close that tightly closed.
Now, you never want to reach back over your head as a catcher to catch a pop-up. You want it to be out in front of you. 2-2, 2 outs. Anderson just laid off.
Yeah, he was thinking about it. Mason Frazier knows these Yankees. He's pitched against them. This is his 50th appearance in his career versus the Yankees.
Tough part of the batting order. Full count to Granderson. Cano on deck. Got it. Powered that fastball right by Granderson. Mason Frazier, a 1-2-3-7. bobblehead. It's the first of 3 collectible bobbleheads this year. The collectible set includes Ricky Romero and Yunel Escobar. Call Blue Jays at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rousers Plus locations. Brandon Morrow's bobblehead will be given away here on Sunday. It'll be Escobar, Bautista, and Encarnacion here in the 7th. Escobar is a free spirit. As he says all the time to his teammates, you got to be yourself. Waits on the curveball, then bounces it foul.
Starting to swing the bat a little bit better, too. You can see him with those hand gestures right there. He doesn't want to top those baseballs. He wants to go through them and hit them back through the middle. He doesn't want to pull that pitch just yet.
Well, 3/4 breaking ball down and away. Escobar arguing that he foul tipped it, but that's a strikeout for Corey Wade. The Yankees have really been decimated with injuries. When you have the great closer Mariano Rivera out for the season, then his replacement, David Robertson, strained an oblique muscle. He's on the 15-day disabled list. And then you factor in Jabba Chamberlain, who broke his ankle in spring training on a trampoline of all things. But the Yankees have really been hurt by the key injuries to their bullpen. Bautista jumps on the first pitch, breaks his back, and singles to left.
So everybody's got to move up in the rotation. Corey Wade's done a great job for him this year. Bautista didn't wait around very long first pitch. He didn't want to get to that changeup time. Hammers that ball into left field. Gets that front foot down, and the back comes through pretty quickly.
Well, that's what he did for the last 2 years, was he took over the at-bats. He set the tone for the at-bats, and this year I think he has fallen behind, and that's created some problems early on. Edwin Encarnacion has gone 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Strikeout came in the first inning. Blue Jays had runners at first and second, and Phil Hughes struck out Bautista and Encarnacion back to back.
Bunch of big hits right there for Encarnacion from the 7th inning or later.
Needed the order starting to come through for the Blue Jays. Bautista hit his 10th tonight. Encarnacion has his 13 for the season. Pretty good production.
Well, the eye's starting to pile up for Jose now, too. He's got 22.
Encarnacion pops it up. Jeter backpedaling. Ibanez calls him off. Left fielder makes the catch. Hard-throwing Boone Logan starts to loosen up for the Yankees. Yankees have 2 left-handers in their pen. We saw Flavor Pata last night. Logan's getting loose.
This is the area where we will see their top 3 relievers. Rafael Soriano will take over the closer duties for the Yankees. Corey Wade and Boone Logan, who you just saw 7th, 8th inning guys. Wade has done a great job. I mean, they've put him in different roles this year in different spots, and he's really come through for them. 7 of his appearances, he's come in with men on base, and he has stranded 9 base runners. Make that 11 after he stranded the 2 in the last inning. Joe Girardi was talking the other day about expanded roles for his relievers because of all the injuries that we just saw.
Not unlike what the Blue Jays have had to do when they lost Sergio Santos. They had to shuffle the deck. First it was Francisco Cordero as the closer. High and deep to left field. Ibanez looking up. It is out of here. J.P. Arancibia.
Told you that Corey Wade's been throwing really well. That's the first home run he's given up all season long. And it looked like an off-speed pitch, and JP went down and got it. Just like last night, it was a slider. This is a changeup. He goes down and gets it, and he knows it too. How he finished and into the bullpen. 2 big runs here late.
Big insurance runs in the 7th. Arancibia had a 2-run, a home run in last night's game. He now has 20 RBIs. Blue Jays hit 4 homers in last night's game. They have 2 more tonight. (3-0) to Ben Francisco. Blue Jays have out-hit the Yankees 9-5. They've out-homered them in this series 6-0.
And they have left 8 runners on base too through 6 innings.
J.P. Arancibia got off to a slow start. His OPS in April, .513. He's doubled it in the month of May. Joe Girardi has concerns about his offense. They scored 1 run last night. They've scored 1 run tonight.
And bullpen with the injuries. It's a long year.
Off the end of the bat. Chavez, a long throw across the diamond, and the inning is over. But the Blue Jays, with a couple of big insurance runs, they come off the bat of J.P. Arancibia. His 5th of the season, a 2-run shot, 4-1 Jays. Baseball through Jays Care. This Saturday, bring any gently used baseball equipment or monetary donations to gates 3, 5, 10, and 13 pregame. Help kids in need this summer. Call the Blue Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. The Toronto Blue Jays are proud supporters of amateur baseball across Canada. The veteran Darren Oliver will come on to pitch the 8th inning. He'll have the lefty Robinson Cano, the switch hitter Mark Teixeira, and then another left-hander, Raul Ibanez.
Good numbers for Darren Oliver this year. He's been very good at getting the lefties and the righties out. He's spotting his fastball. He's throwing his slider when he needs to. Omar Vizquel has come in to take over for Yan Gomes at third base.
Just in time.
Just in time. How about that? Doesn't take long to find you.
Omar, go out there and make a play. That was awesome. That looked like a sure base hit, and Yan Gomes just lifted for defensive purposes.
Still has that quickness, initial quickness, hand-eye coordination, and takes away a hit.
Mark Teixeira, one more look. Look at Vizquel's reaction. What a beautiful play. And a timely move by the manager. Teixeira drives it to right. Bautista backing up. He gets there. 2 quick outs. Yan Gomes, his major league debut, it's a beauty. He gets a couple of hits. 2 for 3 in his first big league game.
Probably saying, I could have made that play.
But I'm glad Omar was there.
Yeah, I'm glad Omar did.
Raul Ibanez. Lefty on lefty. Darren Oliver has been terrific. A breaking ball in there for a strike. Omar Vizquel, 45 years old, bounces around during pregame drills, working at all of the positions, having a blast, and it paid off right there. Alex Rodriguez not starting tonight. Bouncing ball. What a good play by Encarnacion. Can he finish it in time? Oh man, that was destined to be a double. But Encarnacion gave ground, played it off to the side. The defense flashes the leather here in the 8th. Bad hop, he stays with it. Oliver is waiting for the toss. A 1-2-3 8th inning. Let's go to Jamie Campbell. Coverage of the Blue Jays. Watch the action live all season from your smartphone. Download the Rogers Live app from your app store. And right now you'd be treated to a whale of a ball game. The Blue Jays lead 4-1. And the defense really Flashing the leather in the 8th. Defensive replacement, Omar Vizquel.
First pitch, Cano lashes one at him, and he takes away a hit, and then Eddie Encarnacion gives ground, makes a good play and a good flip to get Ibanez. Blue Jays came into this game 37 errors, but they haven't shown it tonight. They have been flawless in the field.
The veteran Freddie Garcia has been relegated to the bullpen. He'll make his 8th appearance for the Yankees.
Started 4 games for New York this year before moving to the bullpen at the end of April. Things weren't going too well for Garcia in the starting rotation, an ERA of 12.5 after a couple of starts. So they moved him into the bullpen to give him some length. And before this season, he's only had 2 relief appearances in his career.
He was quite a pickup along with Bartolo Colon for the Yankees a year ago. But he hasn't had the same success early on.
But he knows how to pitch. He's not the same guy that he was years ago when he was with Seattle, Chicago, Houston. Then he threw a lot harder with a lot of good off-speed pitches. Now he's got to rely on smarts, drop his breaking ball in. He's got a very slow curveball and a good split finger.
He won 12 games as a starter for New York last year. He made 25 starts. And that's exactly what they had hoped they would get. 2010, he was 12-6 with the White Sox. Also as a starter. 2-2. Rasmus out in front. Rasmus has gone 0 for 2. He's also walked. Drew Hutchison in line for his 3rd big league win. Lifted into center. Granderson took a step back, and now he'll come in. First out of the inning. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Any accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Omar Vizquel came into the game defensively in the top half of this inning, gets his first at bat. Line to center field. Granderson retreats and makes the catch. Jason Frazier a 1-2-3 7th. Darren Oliver a 1-2-3 8th, and Casey Jansen loosening up for the 9th. That's how they drew it up.
That's what you hope for when the game starts and everybody is available. You're the manager and say, okay, give me the lead late in the game, and this is how I'm going to set it up, and hopefully it works out that way.
Popped up to share the first baseman, and Garcia has a quick inning. Blue Jays down in order in the 8th. They'll go to the 9th. Casey Jansen will come on, trying to wrap it up and pick up the save. In the ninth inning, Blue Jays have a 4-1 lead over the Yankees. Casey Jansen has come out of the bullpen. Jansen is the closer. Took over for Francisco Cordero when the team was out in Oakland.
A couple of saves this year for Jansen. Last pitch a couple of days ago needed some work against Tampa. An inning, a hit, and a strikeout. You can tell he likes this. He's always been a guy who's very excitable. He loves what he's doing now. Now he's pitching some very important innings for the Blue Jays.
Casey last worked on Tuesday in the Tampa Bay series. For the Yankees, it'll be Swisher, Chavez, and Andrew Jones. Popped out of play. Since being inserted into the closer's role, Jansen is 2 for 2 in save opportunities. Swisher's numbers against Jansen was 2 for 13.
Well, he certainly has the pitches to succeed at closer. He throws strikes. He comes right after you. He can strike out batters.
Rolled over. Kelly Johnson backs up in time to get Swisher. Now for a preview of what's coming up next on Connected. Here's Ken Reed and Ivanka Osmak. Sounds interesting. One out. Eric Chavez takes a first pitch breaking ball for a strike. Chavez had a 2-out double back in the 6th. On the ground, Kelly Johnson again. Much easier hop. Yankees are down to their final out.
Jansen's got a couple of different types of pitches that he can do. He's not a one-trick pony, a fastball. He can cut the ball. Says he's been mixing in a little bit of a curveball because he feels that batters have been sitting on his hard stuff. So Jansen can cut the ball. He can also throw a little bit of a split change. Something a little bit different to show the batters.
Now you can see the crowd has gotten to their feet, and it's not because Andrew Jones is coming to the plate. It's because there's some knucklehead running around on the field.
Not a good time for that. Jansen's in a nice little groove.
They mentioned the Mets will be here tomorrow night. Probable pitching matchups. Jonathan Neese, the left-hander, will go up against Ricky Romero in the opener. That's on Friday night. Saturday afternoon, and note the start time. It's a 1:07 start time on Saturday afternoon. Former Blue Jay Miguel Batista will go up against Brandon Morrow. Morrow with that outstanding 2.22 ERA, and then Dylan G and Henderson Alvarez will wrap things up on Sunday. 3-game series against the Mets. That'll wrap up this homestand. Ricky Romero last started against the Minnesota Twins, and there were times when he had everything working and the defense helped him out, as it has all year long.
And there were times where he was yanking pitches. He ended up having 5 walks, and he's worked very hard this week on his side session to figure it out. And you know Ricky Romero, he'll figure it out. He's just got too many ways to get you out, and he's such a competitor.
Romero is off to a 4-1 start, and that's commendable when, as we have said time and time again, he's not vintage Romero yet.
He hasn't thrown his good stuff consistently yet this year, and when he does, wow, watch out.
Andrew Jones 0 for 3. First pitch off the plate inside. Blue Jays won the first of 2, 8-1 against New York. Breaking ball strike.
There's that curveball that he was talking about, just to show the batter a little something different, a little different speed.
and strikes out Andrew Jones. That ends it. The Blue Jays win it 4-1, take the 2-game series over New York.
You know, as bad as things were earlier this week against Tampa, where the Rays came in here, swept the Blue Jays, things have turned around as the Blue Jays sweep this 2-game series against the Yankees.
The Blue Jays pitchers retired the last 10 Yankees they faced. Yan Gomes made his major league debut and came up with 2 hits and 3 chips. Jose Bautista, his 10th homer of the season. Stay tuned for Connected. Ken Reed of Anka Osman coming up now.